Imagine a world where power isn't held by a small number of people. A world where new economies are growing and testing the power of the old ones. This is the goal of the BRICS Union, which is made up of Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa. They are calling for a rebalancing of the world. At the heart of this conversation around the world is a powerful person, President Vladimir Putin. Join us as we tell the interesting story of how the BRICS ministers are pushing for a new world order that gives more power to the rising stars. As the world tries to figure out how to deal with changing power structures and calls for global rebalancing grow louder, one thing becomes clear. The future of international relations is about to change. Join us as we dig deeper into what rebalancing means for the world, figure out President Putin's role in BRICS, face the challenges that lie ahead, and look at how we can move toward a more fair and open world. The BRICS alliance's call for a rebalancing of global power shows a big change in how people see how power works around the world. It comes from the fact that emerging economies like Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa have grown their economies significantly and have a lot of promise. But their voice and impact in global decision-making haven't kept up with their economic power. This call for rebalancing wants to fix this problem by pushing for a fair distribution of resources, chances, and the power to make decisions. The BRICS countries know that economic inequality and differences in power have slowed their progress and made it harder for them to be heard on the world stage. By asking for rebalancing, they are trying to change the way the world is run, which has been dominated by Western powers. After World War II, these structures were built to represent a geopolitical order that is no longer true of the world today. The goal of the BRICS alliance is to make these institutions, like the International Monetary Fund and the World Bank, more diverse so that emerging economies can have a bigger voice and help shape global policies. Amazing, right? The effects of rebalancing the world are far-reaching and complicated. From an economic point of view, rebalancing can give the BRICS countries a lot of new possibilities. By switching around who has power and influence, these countries can get better access to global markets, financial flows, and tech partnerships. This deeper connection to the global economy can boost economic growth, help local industries, and raise the standard of living for the people who live there. The BRICS countries can use their combined economic power to drive regional and global development projects, such as building infrastructure, making trade deals, and forming business partnerships. Also, the rebalancing of the world has effects that go beyond economics. It includes things like social growth, keeping the environment healthy, and political representation. The BRICS Union knows that a rebalanced world order should not only fix economic problems, but also social problems and problems with the environment. By pushing for a more balanced international system, the BRICS countries hope to create a world where chances are more evenly spread, making it possible for all countries to do well. But wait, this interesting story doesn't end there. While the BRICS alliance pushes for rebalancing in the world and President Putin looms large, a mystery rival alliance has quietly appeared on the horizon. As these different groups try to take control, whispers of dissatisfaction and power struggles fill the air. What will happen after this great battle? Will the BRICS countries be able to take on the big powers, or will this new union of rivals tip the scales in their favor? Stay tuned for the next part of this exciting story about desire, power, and the search for a world that is more balanced. Furthermore, the rebalancing of the world has effects on how people work together to solve global problems. Climate change, hacking, terrorism, and pandemics are all problems that require countries to work together. The goal of the BRICS Union is to create a place where shared problems can be solved by combining the strengths and knowledge of its member countries. By working together and coordinating more, the BRICS countries can make a bigger difference and help find solutions to these important world problems. Within the BRICS group, President Vladimir Putin's power is a big part of the effort to rebalance the world. As the leader of Russia, a big world power, President Putin brings geopolitical influence and strategic partnerships to the table, which helps the BRICS countries reach their goals. From a geopolitical point of view, President Putin's guidance strengthens the alliance by making the West less powerful. Russia's strong foreign policy and dedication to a multipolar world are in line with the goal of rebalancing, which is about challenging traditional power structures and making the world system more democratic. Russia's role in BRICS is also strengthened by the fact that it has a lot of energy sources and a lot of knowledge about energy. As an energy powerhouse, Russia makes sure that its member countries have secure energy supplies. This helps them grow in a sustainable way and lessens their reliance on traditional energy sources. Because of President Putin's influence, energy cooperation stays a top concern within the alliance. This helps the alliance be strong and self-sufficient. Putin's role in BRICS goes beyond working together on energy. His diplomatic skills, ability to think strategically, and ability to build alliances have helped advance the goals of the BRICS nations as a whole. The power of President Putin makes it possible to look for new ways to work together and strengthen ties with other regional blocs and international groups. The BRICS alliance is stronger because of his leadership, both in terms of its ability to achieve rebalancing goals and to counter the influence of established powers. The BRICS partnership and global rebalancing will have a big effect on people in the future. This process of change could lead to a global order that is more fair, includes everyone, and can last for a long time. This would be a good basis for the prosperity and well-being of future generations. First, global balance can fix the long-term economic differences that have kept countries from getting along. The BRICS alliance wants to help emerging economies grow by working for a more fair division of resources and power to make decisions. This can have a direct, positive effect on the lives of people in these countries, like giving them access to schooling, healthcare, and better living standards. Future generations will be able to follow their dreams and reach their full potential because economic chances will be spread out more evenly. The BRICS Union is also a place where people of different ages can talk to each other and work together. As the alliance tries to change global policies and challenge existing power structures, it is very important for young people's ideas and views to be heard. By letting young people help shape the future of global rebalancing, their worries, hopes, and new ideas will be taken into account. By getting the next generation involved, the BRICS countries can give young people a sense of ownership and give them the tools they need to be change agents in their cultures. The BRICS alliance's call for a rebalancing of the world holds a lot of promise, but it also comes with some difficulties. One of the biggest problems is keeping the alliance's many different countries working together as one. The BRICS countries are spread out over several continents and have very different economies, government systems, and cultures. To keep making progress toward the goal of global rebalancing, it is important to solve internal disagreements and deal with competing national objectives. The BRICS countries need to keep working together, talk openly, and find ways to work together. Because we are only strong as we are united, right? Additionally, the BRICS countries need to work together and integrate their economies even more to increase their power and leverage in the international system. By working together more on trade, investment, and technology, BRICS countries can build synergies and improve their ability to bargain as a group. More economic integration can also help make an area more stable and resilient, which helps the rebalancing efforts even more. Also, political outreach is a very important part of the BRICS alliance's success. To get support for their view of a more balanced international order, they need to work with other regional groups and international organizations. The BRICS countries can have more power and credibility if they form strategic partnerships and alliances with other countries that share their goals. This will allow them to effectively challenge current power structures. As our trip comes to an end, the BRICS alliance's call for a rebalancing of the world is stronger than ever. The effects of this ambitious goal include economic opportunities, working together to solve global problems, and a more diverse system for running the world. The fact that President Putin has a lot of power within BRICS makes the story more interesting and helps the group do more and make strategic partnerships. But there will be problems to solve. For the BRICS countries to overcome problems and lead the world toward a more balanced future, they must stay united, strengthen their economic integration, and reach out to more countries internationally. The legacy we leave behind and the chances we make for the next generation will depend on what we do today. Will they be able to change the way the world works? Well, we'll have to wait and see.